an elite shot blocker, but Renault able to maneuver right around.
Shed tried to lob it for Shamshay, and it was broken up nicely by Clifford. Carter running the floor, hands it off, and great play by Murray Boyles to come over and swat it out of play.
But that's another facet of Colin Murray Boyle's game, his ability to defend. And Stevens returned the third. Nice drop off the zone to a team champion. Now trying to finish early three.
Bro, I was so lit. I was in an interview. I turned around. That's what he said. I was like, no way. That would be so nice. But so it's been incredible. It's crazy. I'm so happy for you.
You too, man.
I'll do that. Sir, let's get this done. Yep. Come on. D-Q! D-Queen! D-Queen! Turn this way. Derek! D-Queen! My boy. Love you, bro. Congrats. Congrats, bro.
Dave Pasch, Corey Alexander, George Sedano back with you in Las Vegas at Thomas and Mack Center. Year 20 of Summer League action here in Vegas. In the 7th straight year with all 30 teams competing. Semifinal number 1. Kings leading the Raptors 12-4. Pete Clifford, Sacramento's first-round draft pick, gives it up to the corner. And the 3 hits the front iron and no good. One and done there for Sacramento. Had a couple of bigs around the rim, but a defensive rebound for Toronto. Chucky Hepburn, the ACC Defensive Player of the Year at Louisville last year, undrafted this year, on the court for the first time today for Toronto, along with Jonathan Mobo, who played 63 games and started 18 for Toronto last season after being a second-round pick in the draft of 2024. Dylan Cardwell checks in for Sacramento. Spent the last 5 years at Auburn, playing for Bruce Pearl. 3 spins out for Hepburn, and Cardwell with the board.
Good to see Mason Jones back on the floor. Was injured in Game 3 for the Kings. Missed their last time out, but of course now that they're in the playoff round, is able to get back on the floor. Mason Jones was the G League Finals most valuable player for the Stockton Kings, who won a thrilling series. Blown out in their first game, come back to win the second game at home, and then when they go back to Osceola against the Magic, they brought a guy with them that didn't play in the first 2. He happens to be at the free throw line right now. Isaac Jones, he was absolutely a difference maker in that deciding Game 3.
Both have NBA experience. Isaac Jones, 40 games played with the Kings last year. When you played in the Summer League as a rookie, you get time with the big club during the regular season. What are you trying to accomplish in year 2 in the Summer League, and what are the Kings looking for from him?
Well, the Kings are looking for Isaac Jones to be a guy that's very versatile, both offensively and defensively, that can switch ball screens, can be a small ball 5, but oftentimes playing the 3 or even 4 for them, as you see him now using his advantage to try to post up. Oh, beautiful find to Dylan Cardwell, the big-to-big action alley-oop on the interior.
Not a lot of spacing on that,
no,
but a smart play. Elijah Martin off target on the 3. Rebound Isaac Jones, and now 3 from the wing from Mason Jones is good. And Sacramento leads by 14, a Toronto timeout.
Great interior passing. Isaac Jones dropping it off to Dylan Cardwell, who's able to finish above the rim. These guys are used to winning, and they want more.
What my family are doing? I'm doing good. How you doing, boss?
Doing great, man.
I look like J-Dub, don't it? OKC? Word. This what this is? What is this? Dolce? I got the toy. I'm right there.
It's blending in.
Nah, it's good. It's going now. What's up, man? It's a glitter party out here, man. Diamond party. For the kids, man. I like it, man. I like it. No problem. Man, blessed to be here, man.
Yes, sir. No doubt, man.
For sure, man. Man, it feel good. I ain't cried yet. Harper! Harper! Yeah, my boy. Yeah, my boy. I'm about to cry with him. Yeah, D-Hurt. We're going to put your work in.
My name is Vijayasku from the Bahamas, went to Baylor, and I'm here at Edge. Be 1,100 feet up in the air in New York. It's pretty crazy. It's a great view of the city. It's the highest I've been. I ain't scared. It look fake, that's why. It means a lot, man. I'm just happy to be here. I mean, it's a dream come true for me. Remember just watching everyone get drafted and stuff like that. So, I'm just happy to just even be in this position. I'm happy that people know me, for the game of basketball. Appreciate the Edge for having us here. We get to see the full city, the world's most famous city, man. It's a blessing just to be up here.
More Summer League action tonight on NBA TV, ESPN, and the ESPN app. NBA TV tonight, Houston, Minnesota, Golden State, Cleveland, Portland, Phoenix. Speaking of Portland, big news this week with the announcement of Damian Lillard going back to the Blazers after being waived by the Bucks. Now he still has to recover from that Achilles injury. But what a cool story.
It really is. And Dame was intending to head back to Portland anyway to rehab with his family there. He's away from his 3 kids and his wife for the last 2 seasons in Milwaukee. So his plan was to go back and rehab anyway. And of course, great to be able to get 3 years of $42 million out of it by going back to where it all started for Dame Dollar.
Defensive foul called here on Clifford trying to draw the charge. Chucky Hepburn will go to the line. Lillard, the all-time leading scorer for the Blazers. And going back after being traded to Milwaukee prior to the 2023-24 season, just didn't work out. But one of the reasons, Corey, it didn't work out there in Milwaukee, there weren't many games played together with Giannis and Lillard. And then if you throw in Chris Middleton, it was a rarity when you saw all 3 guys on the floor together.
Yeah, it was a struggle for those guys to really stay healthy over the last 2 years, and which was a blockbuster trade for the Milwaukee Bucks. Never really materialized on the floor, but as you mentioned, the injuries really played a huge part as part of the reason why the Bucks have lost their last 3 first-round playoff games.
Devin Carter driving through the lane. Mason Jones made a 3-pointer from that spot earlier. Not this time. Bodies hit the floor. Elijah Martin needed some help up, and now a foul in transition called against Chucky Hepburn. And we'll send Devin Carter to the line.
It's always interesting that at this point in Summer League for the teams that are 4-0 or that have the best records coming into the semifinal round to see the chemistry that they've been able to develop over the last 2 to 3 weeks. And when you look at the Sacramento Kings Summer League team, they share the basketball extremely well. That's one of their characteristics, and something that's a characteristic of their coach, Doug Christie, who has made it very clear how they want to go about playing, not only in the Summer League, but throughout this season. It's going to be, of course, about their defense first, but more importantly, sharing the basketball and helping each other be successful. Doug was that way as a player and wants to be the same way as a coach, and he preaches that to his players.
Congrats to Doug Christie, who was the interim coach during the season all the way through the play-in tournament after he replaced Mike Brown early in the year, and then was named the full-time head coach in the offseason. Turnover by Toronto. Carter in transition gets 2 at the rim.
And once again, turning defense into offense. Another turnover. I believe that's the 5th turnover for Toronto already.
Martin missed a 3, last touched by the Kings.
And penetrating, but there's no defensive balance on this. No one getting back defensively. Oftentimes, if you have one player penetrating and cracking the paint, you've got to have other guys, someone rotating back just in case, to be able to get back on defense. No defensive rotation on that possession.
Jacoby Walter with the 3, the first 3-pointer of the game for the Raptors. Ball knocked out of bounds off of Sacramento, but Toronto may challenge that.
But you see, Toronto wants to set their defense. They want to play 94 feet as well, but the problem is when you're not scoring, it's difficult to set your defense. Only 3 field goals made thus far for the Raptors in this game. You can't set your defense if you're having to watch the other team rebound and push each and every time down the floor.
Yeah, just 3 of 13, 1 of 8 from 3. Murray Boyle's back on the floor. The officials conferred and changed the call. James Wade, the head coach of the Summer League Raptors, did not have to use the challenge. Here's Walter, first-round pick last year, 19th overall. Back-to-back threes for Jacoby Walter.
And that's got to feel good for Jacoby Walter. He was 1 of 11 in their previous game, so knowing that you're going to need him to step up on the offensive end of the floor if the Raptors want to be able to advance to the championship round.
Jamal Shed is an excellent defensive player with the knockaway. Kings keep possession. Little off schedule. Shot clock was down to 5. Change of possession, so a shot clock reset as Sacramento gets the ball back. Although now the officials are stopping the clock, and they may actually
That was definitely a change of possession. Colin Murray-Boyles retrieved the basketball. He turned it over. You want to keep that as a 24-second shot clock. It shouldn't reset to 14. Maybe they're looking at the game clock, trying to make sure that.
And they kept the shot clock at 21. Skip pass on the inbound. And answering for three is Daquan Plowden.
Great recognition by Mason Jones on the out of bounds, opposite side of the floor, delivering a strike right into the shooting pocket of Plowden.
Plowden spent some time with the Hawks last year, played in 6 NBA games, 27 years of age. Tough shot through the lane by Shed, wouldn't fall. The Raptors get it back. A steal, Walter to Shed, back to Walter, fouled, can't get it, but he'll go to the line. Boy, the energy and productivity of Jacoby Walter getting Toronto somewhat back in the game.
But you can tell both these teams are playing as though there's something to play for. Plowden held on to this one a little too long, and it allows the Raptors to force the turnover. Smart play by Jamal Shed, recognizing that he had a disadvantage, but had his teammate Jacoby Walter right behind him to help him out.
Let's talk big picture on Toronto. What's realistic for the Raptors this year? Some of the teams that were at the top of the East have come back to the pack. Some of the teams that were in the middle of the pack of the East are a little bit better, like Orlando. Where does Toronto stand?
I think Toronto makes a jump this year because you consider the fact that you get Brandon Ingram. That's a huge jump, bringing in an all-star, 3-level scorer who can really be the guy that can anchor your offense. And now when you've got guys like Jamal Shed, Jacoby Walter with a year of experience under their belt, that helps them, give them depth coming off the bench, especially in the defensive end.
Speaking of defense, Murray-Boyles with his second rejection of the game. Called here for a foul, though, on the reach-in on Plowden. That's the first foul on Murray-Boyles. And the first in the last 2 minutes, so the next one will result in free throws for the Kings. Just outside 90 seconds remaining here in the opening quarter. 4 10-minute quarters in all of the Summer League games. Plowden three off the heel. Made one from the right wing a couple of possessions ago. Shed drive and kick to the corner. Murray-Boyles on the step back three. That's too strong. Shed again with great defense.
But how about stripping the basketball away and then the presence of mind to get in the passing lane? He doesn't get the steal, but does get the deflection and stops the offensive progress of the Kings.
Shed, the National Defensive Player of the Year at Houston back in 2024. Big 12 Player of the Year. Backed up Emmanuel quickly with the Raptors at point guard last year. Leaning in, trying to draw the foul is Mason Jones, and he did just that.
Colin Murray-Boyles a little bothered with that foul, agreed to the previous foul, but this one a little bothered, felt like he didn't leave his feet.
And so Jones will be at the line. He turns 27 years of age next week. He's played 51 career NBA games for 4 different teams: Houston, Philly, the Lakers, and 10 games with the Kings this past season. So 2 fouls, as you said, Corey, on Murray-Boyles. So he's going to take a seat here. They don't want to pick up that third with a minute to go in the first quarter.
Yeah, it's got to be an adjustment, though, when you get 10 fouls for the first 4 games, and now all of a sudden you've got to go back to playing the true rules of only 6 fouls. That's an adjustment because you can't afford to waste fouls, which I believe we saw in Colin Murray-Boyles' first foul was one that he wouldn't have taken, knowing that he only has 6.
Walter driving high off the window and down. Jacoby Walter's shown us a little bit of everything offensively so far.
Love how aggressive he's being, getting downhill, attacking the basket. Of course, whenever you make a couple threes, it helps your confidence on the offensive end.
Jones being watched by rookie Elijah Martin. And a foul called on Shed on the 3-point try from Plowden. So Plowden will be at the line for 3 free throws. First foul on Shed.
And Shed crowds the space, does not allow Plowden to land legally. Great call by officiating crew. Jamal Shed tries to plead his case to his coach, James Wade, on the sideline. However, think Coach Wade sees that replay, he would say, yeah, that's a pretty good call.
Shed even took another step towards Plowden after Plowden was up in the air to shoot the ball. This is the 4th summer league for Daquan Plowden. How do you stay confident and not get discouraged, knowing that, hey, if you play well here, you got the Kings and 29 other teams that may give you a chance?
All you want is a chance. That's all you can ever ask for, is to have an opportunity to be able to get to training camp and then go prove yourself. We've seen so many different players throughout the history of the NBA. It took them time and time again, just chipping away, trying to find their way into the league. And then once they get in, you think of a guy like John Starks, who just chipped away, played the CBA. And once he got in, became not only a rotation player, but a starter for the Knicks.
Doug Christie, the Kings head coach. About a 12-second difference between the game and shot clocks. Shed on the drive, turns it over. Dylan Cardwell with the good hands to get the strip. A 2-second difference. Game and shot clocks.
They recognize that's now Mason Jones gets it back, recognizing you want to hold this one later in the shot clock, not to give the Raptors much chance on the offensive end.
Oboe all over him at the top of the key. Walter knocked it away. Shot clock down to 2. Carter has to hoist it. Does. And that's the end of the first quarter. The last 10 points for Toronto scored by Jacoby Walter, just keeping the Raptors in striking distance, but still down 12.
It was a slow start for the Raptors. However, Jacoby Walter was able to heat up. Not 1, but 2 threes for him. Also attacking the rim, just like Dylan Cardwell with the lob for the Kings.
Christian Associated Face. They will make all the way they got exclusive upgraded seats to watch their favorite team.
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Gaspar Secretanis. Today we hang out in Linda Street Pizza.
Is this your first time in New York?
Yeah, second. Yeah, I've been one game we played here, but for one day in winter. It was so cold, now it's so hot.
Good. That's the New York way. You're already eating like a New Yorker. Yeah. You fold it like that, so you're already eating like a New Yorker.
I didn't know that's good.
Yeah.
It's good. It's like I expected something like this, and it's pretty good, to be honest.
It's the beginning of something new, you know, the beginning of my dream. Continue reaching my goals. So it will be cool, but you know, I have to start working from day one. So.
Okay, I'll take a look. The next time out.
Welcome back to NBA 2K26 Summer League here in Las Vegas. We're here with Isaac Jones of the Kings. You guys jumped out early. What led to the success?
Energy, playing with a lot of energy, trusting each other and playing hard.
You guys have such a veteran squad here at Summer League. How much of that is such a factor for you guys to have the success you're having?
It's good, especially for the young guys. You know, we can coach them up, tell them what to expect, and I think they came well prepared.
Isaac, good luck. Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Guys, back to you.
Corey, you heard about Isaac Jones talking about the energy with which they played in that first quarter to win a championship. In terms of evaluating that, when you're Doug Christie, head coach, B.J. Armstrong here, assistant GM, in terms of whether a player ends up making a roster for the big squad, how much do they look at that?
Well, you want winning culture. And again, everybody wants winners within their organization. So winning has to be important because oftentimes you're going to have to concern yourself with, do we pay this guy? And many players will go about what they do based upon their individual numbers. That doesn't always affect winning. And so winning always is going to be important, especially to coaches, general managers, executives, because they want guys who are built in for the long haul.
And that's one of the things we've heard from several head coaches here in Las Vegas is sometimes it's hard to get through to guys, hey, it's not about your numbers here in Las Vegas. This isn't just to show you trying to audition to get a job. How you play within the team concept is going to impact eventually whether you get paid or not.
Well, and you consider each and every one of these guys, I don't think there's anyone playing right now that is going to go into training camp and be labeled a superstar from day one. And so knowing that you're going to have to play a role, are you willing to take on that role and be a star in your role for your respective team? Because if you're not willing to do that, I'm not sure that many of the executives want you on their roster. And so this is a great example to be able to do that. Let's face it, Dave, most of these teams start their summer league training camps, say July 1st. That's less than 3 weeks ago. To try to build chemistry, you got to have guys that are bought into the overall mission, which is winning, to be able to be successful in this league.
Raptors have picked up the defensive intensity here early in the second quarter, and they forced the 5th Sacramento turnover.
Yeah, after getting down double figures early in this game, the Raptors have absolutely matched the Kings' energy. As Isaac Jones was talking about, the Kings got off to a great start, but the Raptors has matched that over the last 10 minutes of game action.
That was Jarkel Joyner who had the good defense on that possession. Hepburn missed it inside. Castleton couldn't get the rebound. Missed opportunity there. Kinsey in transition. Almost coughed it up himself. Carter, short on the triple try. And cleared by Colin Castleton. Joyner missed the layup. Pretty move to get downhill, but he couldn't finish.
Jarkel Joyner showing off his speed, and Isaac Jones showing off his bounce once again. A nice find from Devin Carter in transition.
And it's 32-18 right now, Sacramento. Toronto is 0 for 7 from the floor in the second quarter. Offensive foul on Hepburn. That's his second personal.
Devin Carter, who spent time with his father, Anthony Carter, former NBA point guard. The two had their own individual point guard camp going away to your spot, going to Phoenix. And working out together for a few weeks, trying to get him prepared to be more of a ball handler and a playmaker here in Summer League. A nice play to find Isaac Jones over the top.
Meanwhile, important development with Murray Boyles picking up his 3rd foul. The Raptors down 14. If they're going to come back, all hands on deck from their best players. And now we'll see if Murray Boyles comes out of the game. It looks like James Wade will keep him on the floor, but awfully early to get that 3rd foul. But back to Devin Carter, and you touched on Anthony. He's an assistant coach now with Memphis. Spent 13 years in the league as a player. Was with Memphis, 13 years as a player. And Devin spent this past season in the rotation for about half the games with the Kings. Also spent a handful of games with Stockton in the G League.
Dave, you and I both fathers. Can you imagine your grown child reaching out and saying, Dad, I need you. I need to learn to be a better point guard. Let's go to Phoenix for a couple of weeks. Let's just work on point guard play, me and you, one-on-one. I need you to help me figure this out. How good does that have to feel if you're Anthony Carter?
Meanwhile, Isaiah Stevens made a great move on Chucky Hepburn, breaking ankles. Hepburn, of course, was asking for an offensive foul to be called. He thought he was pushed. Battles 3 is there.
That's a Barry Bucket, the first field goal made for the Raptors in this second quarter. It always helps when it's a 3. A lot of contact with no foul.
Reynaud tips it in. Fumbled the initial pass by Stevens, but eventually was able to score.
But look at Stevens. Even after making a great play, the lob to the rim for Reynaud to finish, picking up 94 feet.
Hepburn drives, and they'll get Nick Clifford for the foul. That's 2 on him. So Hepburn, who spent 3 years at Wisconsin before transferring to Louisville on a 2-way contract with the Raptors right now, he'll be at the line. Summer League access is one tap away with the NBA app. Download today to follow tomorrow's stars. Keep up with every game with real-time highlights and scores.
You mentioned Chucky Hepburn started every game of his 4-year college career. Never came off the bench, not once. And you mentioned the first team All-ACC, ACC Defensive Player of the Year and the true catalyst behind the return of Louisville this year behind Coach Pat Kelsey. Chucky Hepburn had the keys to the car, and he drove them in the right direction. An 18-2 record in the ACC this year.
That has to be a mental adjustment for Hepburn and players like him, used to starting, to now be asked to play a very small role off the bench.
Oh, man, I can tell you all about that one. I felt I was a pretty good NBA player as a starter. Probably started about 25 of my 304 games in my career. And coming off the bench, I was that box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. and that's really the issue. If you can find guys at this level that can be productive coming off the bench. There's another beautiful find, high-low passing. This time, Jones, the recipient. He was the passer before with Dylan Cardwell.
You mentioned the short time that these teams have to develop chemistry. Well, the Kings accomplished that.
They really have, and they share the basketball extremely well. Had them in their third game where they had 23 assists. And they look like they may be headed to at least that number here tonight.
Joyner has it ripped away by Isaiah Stevens and then commits a foul. First on Joyner.
Isaiah Stevens started Summer League as the reserve point guard. But with the injury to Mason Jones, who checks back into the game, he went into the starting lineup and is playing a tremendous role both offensively and defensively, and why the Kings have been able to build this 14-point lead.
Sacramento missed the playoffs each of the last 2 years after making the postseason in 2023. Their only appearance in the playoffs since 2006. Isaac Jones doing some work at the rim throughout this first half. He's got 12 points to lead all scorers.
Ball shed back in the game and immediately calms things down for the Raptors to the rim, getting a bucket. But this is the benefit of having a skilled big like Raynaud. He can make plays for others as well, being able to handle the basketball 94 feet.
Out of bounds off of Sacramento. We got a timeout here in Las Vegas. The Kings looking to move on to the championship game, up 14.
When I hear my name called Wednesday, it's gonna feel like all my hard work paid off. Blessed enough to be in this environment and just be drafted. Had a great time, great experience, a great game going on. Just a blessing to be here.
He blocked him at the rim.
Ron with the slam.
Let's tie at the buzzer.
No, sorry.
He blocked him again.
Again?
What's going on?
Just keeping up with the NBA. You know how it is.
Dude. Just get the NBA app. See? The latest scores and stats. Every highlight. And go behind the scenes.
Yo,
all for free. You don't need to do all this. Check it out.
Dave, where you at?
Brother, this is fire.
I know. That's why I'm on it. So remember who put you on, okay? Remember.
We can be better. I want more.
Well, we don't have music going on. It is right now, but once play starts, you won't hear it in the arena. And guess who else you're not going to hear? Corey and I are going to be quiet for the next minute, minute and a half. Just so you can hear the sounds of the game, including our two head coaches who are mic'd up.
And I say something and y'all shut me down, that's wrong. My feelings are hurt. My feelings are hurt. Why not? We can talk to y'all, okay? Hey! Hey, right now. Two. Where you from, baby? Yeah. I know, but it's like you putting pressure on them and they're traveling and double moving. Then at least 3. Yeah, because they score out of it. That's 7 points they score. Good crash. I like it. Get ready, go.
Get up, Mason. This is for everything. Come on. Good shot, Max. Sabo.
We going. Go. Come on, get up!
Grabbing him.
Did he touch it? White.
Well, I'm sure some folks on Twitter would say that was the best part of the broadcast yet. But I thought James Wade, the head coach of the Raptors, you can tell he's done this before. He spent 5 years as the head coach of the Chicago Sky. He's working one of the officials being critical. Then he turns to another official. Instead of trying to criticize, he wants to get on their good side, so he asks, where are you from? I don't know that I've heard that in a game, the coach asking an official where they're from.
Oh, yes. It happens all the time. Again, the conversations that go on between coaches and officials during the game are great conversations, and most of the time it has nothing to do with the game. Again, you want to have that relationship with the officials to make sure that when you need them later, they remember those conversations where you were asking about the kids, making sure the family was good.
Meanwhile, Isaac Jones up to 14 points now, the leading scorer in the game, with Sacramento up 13.
You know, personally, I felt like Debo just rolled through on his beach cruiser and told me to shut up. But when he leaves, I'll be talking again. And I feel like that's where we are right now.
We have plenty of time to make up for it. We got the rest of this game and a whole nother game. Our second semifinal on ESPN later today, featuring the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Charlotte Hornets.
I thought it was good, though. You get to hear the sounds of the game, get guys talking it up.
Carter pulls up for 3. No good. Both teams struggling from behind the arc. The Raptors are 3 of 16 from 3. Sacramento is 4 of 16. Jamison Battle, who hit a 3 earlier, this time gets to the cup and lays it in.
And great recognition by Battle, knowing that he knocked down the 3 and the defender was going to try to run him off the three-point line, uses that size to get to the rim for an easy finish.
Carter through the lane, off the window, and in for Devin Carter, second-year pro out of Providence.
But immediately picking up 94 feet. Doug Christie talked about they are right now building their foundation as to how they want to be able to play. You do it during the summer, so therefore it translates into training camp. After every made bucket, you want to be pressing up. Doug told me before the game, he wants his team to learn how to play and not run plays. He says that he learned how to play when he came to Sacramento. Of course, he was a veteran already in the NBA by the time he got to Sacramento, but he credits his coaching staff and the organization for truly teaching him how to play the game.
Kings are an interesting team. When you look at their roster, adding a couple of draft picks this year, they bring in Dennis Schroeder, Drew Eubanks. They trade Valanciunas to Denver to open up that slot for Eubanks. DeMar DeRozan is back. Sabonis is back. We'll see if the Kings can move up the standings in a very deep Western Conference this coming season.
Go, next, go. Okay, hold it. Get the ball, pass it, bring it up.
Today we're at the University of Pretoria. We're doing a junior NBA basketball clinic, and what we're doing is we're just imparting some skills on dribbling, passing, shooting, and all the fundamentals of basketball. What we like to see in junior NBA is lots of smiles, lots of fun. You know, that's when the kids learn more. If you make the experience enjoyable, the kids pay more attention, they're more engaged.
We learned a lot from the coaches, got a lot of insight. Good to see people take interest in it, and it's a good sign to see.
You're not getting anywhere. Okay, you walk by giving good passes. You're gonna move like this, boy.
Look, there's a lot of energy. It's beautiful, man. It brings a lot of hope to us young African kids that, you know, one day we could play at that level. It brings a lot of hope.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Keep going. Crazy guys, that's how you make a mistake.
We have a lot of young talent, and we'd like to thank you, NBA Africa, so much for coming here and just, you know, improving our basketball.
4, 5, 6, 7.
Let's do it, fellas. Let's do it, fellas. Let's do it, fellas. Let's do it, fellas. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. I'm low. By yourself, right, left. Help.
So far, you guys have done the formula, right? Make them feel us, and then we run on them. Great job pushing the pace. Great job running, right? Just run. Run. He gonna find you. We're gonna find each other.
We got it now. We got it now. They had a run. The roads are open. The roads are open. We need Raptor movement. We need Raptor movement. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Keep doing what we're doing. Take a deep breath and we're good.
So you heard from there Devin Carter and Dipesh Mistry, the head coach of the Kings Summer League team. And for Toronto, Elijah Martin and Raptors head coach James Wade. Three-pointer from Battle. That's his second three. He shot it better than 40% from deep in 59 games played for the Raptors this season. Toronto back within 8 with 3 minutes to play. A spot in tomorrow night's championship game on the line.
But look at the pressure by the Raptors.
Reyno banks it in as he got close to the rim. Reyno with 6 points. Second round pick out of Stanford. 42nd overall.
Only player in college basketball to average 20 and 10 last season. Was the first team All-ACC and broke a number of Adam Keefe's records at Stanford. So you know you're doing something when you take Adam Keefe off the top of the chart.
It's still odd to hear a player from Stanford as first team All-ACC. It still takes time to wrap my brain around that.
You mean the All-Coast Conference? Is that what you're talking about?
Reyno going to go to the free throw line. 4-year player at Stanford, 22 years old.
Former teammate of one Victor Wembanyama, and still currently one of Victor's chess partners. Is that what you are? When you play against each other in chess, you call them a partner?
Opponent.
Is it opponent?
Well, you're not playing with him, you're against him.
I guess.
I don't play chess, but I would assume that that's
why I asked you.
Correct terminology.
I can't even play checkers, so chess is no chance.
You mentioned Wembanyama. The Spurs, with assuming that he is healthy, and he has been cleared after the health scare from last year. De'Aaron Fox, former King, traded to San Antonio, so first full season with the Spurs. How dangerous will they be in the West?
I think they're much more dangerous. I think they can absolutely be in playoff contention this year when you consider adding Fox from the Kings, but as well as bringing in a guy like Dylan Harper and Carter Bryant, 2 lottery picks, to be able to bolster your depth. Still with Devin Vassell, Jeremy Shohan, Keldon Johnson in fold, and also a big signing, getting Luke Cornett away from the champion Celtics. I believe that's huge.
Yeah, that's an underrated move by San Antonio.
Really nice play by Wall.
And the slam by Mobo. Timeout, Sacramento. Toronto, the closest it's been since the first couple of minutes of the game. Back within 6.
They're doing it with their pressure defensively and turning that defense into offense. Walter finding Mobo for the finish.
All right, this time you hit a layup. Let's go, guard up.
Really? Why don't you just watch it on NBA League Pass?
They're giving me every angle.
Yeah, I see that, but okay. You get multi-view and multiple angles.
What about local language streams? Show 'em, son.
Yeah, they got that too.
Well, kids, we'll remember this day.
Nothing like watching League Pass with the family, huh?
A champion will be crowned tomorrow night right here on ESPN. And the Sacramento Kings had a 16-point lead early on, but Toronto is back within 6. Winner will face either Oklahoma City or Charlotte. Our second semifinal follows us here at Thomas and Mack Center at 6 Eastern Time on ESPN. Dave Pash, Corey Alexander, George Sedano. Toronto able to force 9 turnovers here in the first half, leading to 11 points off those turnovers. Now let's check in with George.
So, guys, you saw the Summer League Championship rings there a moment ago on the screen. 172 full-cut diamond stimulants there. A total of 2.75 carats. Not bad if you win Summer League to get something like that, some bling like that, Corey.
It's not bad at all. And you both know that I used to have a major issue with the rings for Summer League, but I have now accepted it and will agree with it. But for many of these guys who are looking to make a team, I think if you ask them, they still would say, give me the check. I will take the bonus. That's one of the things I think that makes the G League Winter Showcase so exciting, is that they're playing for $100 grand to split amongst the team. But the rings are beautiful.
Save the rest of it for your podcast. We've got less than a minute to go, and here come the Raptors again, back within 4. They're on an 11-2 run with under a minute to go.
You know I don't do podcasts.
And foul on the perimeter by Shamshay. That's the first in the last 2 minutes. The next one will put Sacramento at the free throw line. First personal against Shamshay.
Shamshay just trying to be aggressive, make sure they contest every play, every pass. And that's the way the Raptors have really been able to get back into this game. A little over-aggressive, giving up that foul again.
And now a push-off called on Mobo. And so free throws for Isaac Jones, who is 3 of 4 at the line so far, 14 points to lead all scorers in the game.
Isaac Jones has absolutely been a difference maker for the Kings in this first half. And not only with his scoring, but also his playmaking as well.
He's a great story when you think about where he came from. You look how big he is now. He's about 6'9" and pretty thick. When he started out his high school career, he was 5'7", and he grew to about 6'2", 6'3", but he didn't think he was going to play college ball, so he worked at a pipe manufacturing company out of high school, and then was finally convinced to go play junior college basketball, so he did that as he grew to where he is now. Then went to Idaho, and then 1 year at Washington State, was undrafted last year, yet played 40 games for the Kings during the regular season.
Yes, that is a story. And I've seen Isaac Jones a lot. Had no idea he started high school at 5'7".
Jacoby Walter lost it. Kept the possession alive, though. Shot clock at 5. Shamshay, looked like Shamshay may have had a dunk, but he tried to pass. But they're going to call a defensive foul on Carter, who's rubbing his right knee after he went down.
Yeah, Carter was in the restricted areas. That's going to be an automatic for the officials to make that call. But I absolutely understand the reasoning behind it. Whenever you see a big guy barreling down the lane, you want to try to pick up that opportunity. But you see that right heel of Carter on the restricted line, so easy call for the officials.
First foul in the last 2 minutes, so side out of bounds. And stepping on the sideline was Battle on the catch.
But the amazing part was Battle actually looked down. And maybe he was looking in front to see if he was behind the three-point line, not checking that back foot. But he looked down to see his spacing on the floor. Still stepped on the sideline.
9/10 of a second difference in the clocks here at the end of the first half. Nick Clifford back on the floor for offense. He does have 3 personal fouls. Murray Boyles has 3 personal fouls for the Raptors. Sacramento just got it across to avoid the 8-second backcourt violation. It wasn't pretty, but it somehow pinballed across the line.
How about the effort of Plowden, though? I mean, that was an all-out dive, head first, go after the basketball. He lays out for this one. To be able to get possession, the Raptors absolutely wanted that to be an 8-second violation.
They'll jump it up at midcourt. They got to figure out who the 2 participants are in the jump ball. One of them's Plowden, obviously, because he had the basketball. The question is who reached in to tie him up.
But here's my kicker. We started that possession with 24.9 on the clock. And now we're at 13. That's pretty much 12 seconds that passed by. How is it not an 8-second violation?
Well, it was loose. It was on the floor.
So there was no, but again, if there's no possession, does it call it off?
They're still trying to figure out who's supposed to be in the circle. It looked like it was Elijah Martin that tied up Plowden, but they were having some trouble trying to figure out exactly who it should be. Toronto wins the tap. Plenty of time. Shed attacking the basket and is fouled by Isaac Jones.
It works out for Shed. However, he went a little early on that one. When you get the basketball back in that position, unless you just have a clear advantage, but I'm not sure that he did, you want to be able to get the last shot of the quarter, but the aggressiveness allows him to be able to get to the free throw line to try to make it a 4-point game with 9 seconds remaining in this first half.
6 assists to go along with 7 points now for Jamal Shed. Played for the great Kelvin Sampson of Houston, who's done a fabulous job with that program, a Final Four contender every single year.
He really does. Jamal Shed absolutely exemplifies the characteristics of Kellen Sampson, his son, in that Houston program.
Shed gets them both. You saw Nick Clifford checking back in. And for offense here for the final shot, he's got 3 fouls. Carter, 5 seconds to go, being hounded again by Martin. 3 seconds left. Carter with 1, gets to the basket and lays it home. Strong drive and finish for the final basket of the second quarter for Devin Carter. And the Kings lead by 6 at the break.
Executed perfectly by Devin Carter. That point guard play, point guard camp with Dad is paying off, understanding time and score, able to get a bucket with .2 remaining.
All right, Jacoby, I know there's so much going on. Your dream just came true. You said you're feeling emotional in this moment. Walk me through what some of those emotions are.
Just the journey, just thinking back on the journey, all the prayers to God, all the talks that I've had with my family, coaches, friends, just for it to all come to reality. And one moment, it was just a lot.
I mean, you know, speaking of your family, I know your parents wanted your name, Jacoby, to be an homage to Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant, 2 players that had an unfathomable impact on the league that you are now entering. Does it feel like destiny?
Yes, it always felt like destiny.
How so?
I mean, I started playing the game of basketball super early, and I knew that was the first game I wanted to play, so.
When you were asked what you really bring to an NBA team, you said, "I'm a competitor. I'll do whatever it takes to win." What will it take to win in Toronto?
Every night coming out with intensity. For myself, knocking down shots. I think if we just play together, play with high intensity, we could do something special.
What sticks out to you about playing with Scotty Barnes?
Personality. His personality, I think, with mine, I think it'll get pretty hectic.
Oh, I'm sure it will. Lastly, I know you've said you want to improve your shot creation and you want to increase your range. Where do you want both of those areas to be by the time the season begins?
At an elite level. I want them to be at elite level. Shot creation, I think my handle's getting better constantly every day, every time I work. And then the more reps I get, the range is going to come.
Well, congratulations. See you in Toronto.
We're going to give Stan one shot to knock down a half-court shot. If he can make it, he gets hooked up with a pair of tickets to come back here tomorrow, which will include the championship game here at the NBA.
Being just a kid from Maine, people would just shoot me down.
That told me I would never be able to make it to the next level. Are you serious?
This is something that I've been dreaming about since I was a little kid. That dream just stuck in my head, and I just got to keep working.
Well, he certainly took it to the next level. He had the best season of anybody in college basketball, arguably, this year. Obviously, the #1 pick in the draft. Was there anything when you watched him here in Las Vegas, Corey, that surprised you, or was he pretty much what you thought he was?
Well, I've seen Cooper Flagg a lot. I don't think there's really any surprises with him because you expect excellence every time he steps on the floor. But what I did truly appreciate is the way that he handled the basketball against pressure for the entirety of his 2 games here in Summer League. Only 3 turnovers. And we know that it's often a problem for rookies, but it was not a problem for Cooper Flagg, really playing in a new spot as a point guard, somewhere that Jason Kidd said they will possibly use him during his rookie year, and he handled it extremely well. Also, 31 points in Game 2 doesn't hurt, showing off his ability to score the rock efficiently.
Much more efficient Game 2 for sure, based on what he did in Game 1. 5 of 21, obviously huge height, also going against Bronny James in that first game against the Lakers, so a lot of pressure there. In terms of evaluating what makes a good rookie season for him, it's going to be interesting because he's going to have to play without Kyrie Irving for the first few months, and when Irving comes back from that injury, has to learn to play with Irving, who's going to be dominating the ball a lot.
But the thing about Cooper Flagg is everything that he does impacts winning, and that's his biggest concern. So a solid rookie year for Cooper Flagg will solely be winning and trying his best to help the Dallas Mavericks achieve the goal of winning a world title. That is the direction from Jason Kidd, the direction from Nico Harrison, their general manager. And so Cooper Flagg is lockstep with them both when it comes to winning. He is the perfect fit for what Dallas needs to bring into their roster. And I believe that he will possibly the greatest chance of all of these guys who have been drafted #1, the young guys, to get a chance to be the Rookie of the Year.
Will be fascinating to watch Cooper Flagg and the Mavericks this season. Meanwhile, 1 half to go in our semifinal game here at Summer League between the Kings and Raptors.
The 3rd lottery pick in Providence school history. Hearing that out loud, how does it feel?
Man, it's a blessing. Kim and coaching staff, everybody that came in just believed in me from day one. I put my trust in them, and here we are.
It's been said that you were phenomenal in your pre-draft interviews. What do you think you said to Sacramento that really made them know you're their guy?
I let every team know it, but especially Sacramento, you get me, you're going to get a winning player. You're going to get somebody who's ready to compete from day one. Somebody who's just willing to do all the dirty stuff to, compliment other people and just trying to get as many wins and hopefully a championship.
You, of course, are a lockdown defender. You have all the defensive tools. But to you, what separates the great defenders from the good ones, and how will you be great in the league?
What separates the greats from the goods, honestly, just your determination, how hard you really want it. you know, you're good if you do it sometimes. You're great if you do it all the time. So I'm one of those people that I think do it all the time, especially just trying to find who I am in the league and everything. Yeah, so I'm just looking forward to it.
When you watched Sacramento as you're consuming the NBA last season, what did you see, and what gaps do you think your presence will fill?
I think I'm a pretty good leader, you know, just being an older guy. Coming in, you know, we obviously got De'Aaron Fox, Sabonis, you know, we got Kevin Hurd, we got some really good people on the team. So I'm just looking forward to, you know, complimenting them, doing the dirty work, like I said, rebounding, you know, getting people's shots, whatever it may be. I'm just looking forward to it.
All right, lastly, you have been touted as a win-now player. How will your presence specifically translate to more wins for the Kings?
I mean, like I've been saying, you know, just on the defensive end, that's how you win championships. You know, knock down open shots whenever, you know, I need to. And, yeah, just try to find my spot in rotation and keep it there and then build on that. And, yeah.
Looking forward to watching.
Sacramento Kings led by 16 at one point in the first half. Toronto made a run to close within 6 as we get ready to start the third quarter of semifinal number 1. Dave Pasch, Corey Alexander, and George Sedano. Well, Isaac Jones started as a two-way player with the Kings, signed a multi-year contract in March, but he's still hungry and had a terrific first half.
He really is, and started off the game extremely well, knocking down the three, but also continuing to attack the basket, whether it's for himself or for his teammates, finishing off highlight slams, making plays off the bounce, showing his full arsenal of the offensive gifts he's brought to Vegas.
5 of 7, 16 points to lead all scorers, 12 points for Jacoby Walter to top Toronto. The Raptors have not led. One of the reasons they got back in the game was Sacramento couldn't make a three-pointer. They started 4 of 7 from deep, got out to that big lead, but they've missed 11 straight. Walter had 12, Jamison Battle had 10. The two players we thought we'd be talking about the most in this game were not productive at all, and some of that was fouls. Nick Clifford just 2 points in 10 minutes, 3 fouls. Colin Murray-Boyles played just 7 minutes, 2 points, 3 fouls.
Yeah, both the first-round picks having to spend a lot of time on the bench. As Jamal said, knocks down to 3 from the top of the key on the first possession offensively of the Raptors. But remember the change, going from being allowed 10 fouls for the first 4 games, now only 6. So the coaches have to manage that as well with their rookies.
Winner plays in tomorrow night's championship game on ESPN at 10 Eastern against either the Hornets or the Thunder. There's Isaac Jones again, working hard around the basket. Counted and won.
But Jones, the veteran, going at Colin Murray-Boyles on the first possession, recognizing that Murray-Boyles has those 3 fouls and wants to attack him off the bounce. Unable to get the first one to go, but sticking to it. Gets his own offensive rebound and put back.
Ulrich Shamshay picked up the foul, his second personal. Jones now 6 of 7 at the line, 19 points. He had 17 points in the Kings' last game. He's already surpassed that number. Shed in the lane, kept the pivot foot down. Out to Walter, his 3, no good. And rebound Jones. Jones spinning and puts it home.
Jones showing all the different facets of his game. Going off the bounce, we've seen him shoot the 3-ball. But he's really done a tremendous job taking advantage of mismatches when he's got a bigger player guarding him, even being able to go off the bounce against a smaller player in battle in the last possession.
How do you project him this season in terms of the role that he could have with the Kings as Shed scores off the glass?
Well, when you've got a guy that can come off the bench and give you instant production, whether it's offensively or defensively, you can always find a way to get them into rotation. I think that Isaac Jones can absolutely do that for Doug Christie in the 3, 4, and even a small ball 5 spot because he has the wingspan that allows him to play much bigger than his height.
Stevens hits a 3 that ends a drought of 11 straight misses from 3-point range for Sacramento. Isaac Jones played in 40 games for Sacramento last year, averaged about 3 points per game. Battle no good on the triple try. Cleared by Clifford. 4 rebounds for Clifford. Taking just 2 shots. Carter lost his dribble and almost stepped out of bounds. And a defensive 3-second violation.
They're going to get Colin Murray-Boyles for that one. And again, that's a rookie mistake. I mean, when you consider, especially as the shot clock is going down, you bail out the opposing team with an offensive possession that looked like it was going nowhere for the Kings. But it's something that you just have to get used to, understanding you only have 2.9 seconds.
One shot technical. It doesn't cost him, though, because Clifford missed the free throw. Clifford did not look as comfortable as he did the first few games.
Well, I mean, and I think the foul trouble really took him out of rhythm. Got off to a really good start in this game, distributing the basketball, also getting to the mid-range pull-up. But having to play and understanding that you can't be as aggressive as you would like to be because of the foul trouble can take away from your production.
He was dominant in Las Vegas. He's been one of the best players overall in this tournament. There's Reno, second-round pick. Clifford, the Kings' first-round pick this year, putting it up and in.
And as you think of dominant, that's been Isaac Jones, the veteran, as he closes out and contests the three-point shot in the corner.
Walter missed it. Out in transition. Carter goes behind the back and a reach-in foul on Jacoby Walter. That's 3 on him. Lead back to 11 for the Kings.
Watch Isaac Jones. He contested 3, but look at all the jerseys in the backcourt and notice who pops into the camera. Who's the first guy you see? It's Isaac Jones. That's the type of effort that's necessary in order to be able to play in the NBA. When your coach, your head coach, is sitting on the sideline watching, he wants to know that he's going to get that consistently from Isaac Jones each and every night. And Jones right now has truly dominated this game on both ends of the floor.
Carter goes 1 of 2 at the stripe. And Toronto basketball. Kings trying to become the first team to win 3 NBA Summer League championships. They won it in 2014 and 2021. 3 minutes into quarter number 3. Their lead is 12. Murray-Boyles spinning and missing. Batted out of play. Kings ball. We talked about Isaac Jones and how he might fit in. You got Sabonis, all-star caliber player. DeMar DeRozan, all-star caliber player.
Zach LaVine, all-star caliber player. So there's a lot of talent, but you got to find guys that are able to come in there and play the roles. I mean, you're talking about guys, as you mentioned, that have been all-stars. You can't consider them role players. And so you need guys like Isaac Jones to be able to come and play a role. Need Clifford to play a role, as well as Maxime Reynaud. That's truly who you're drafting and who you're trying to find in Summer League who can be those guys for your roster.
Kings were 2 games under 500 last year, lost in the play-in tournament as the 9 seed. Offensive foul called on Clifford, and that's 4 on him.
But even when you watch Clifford attack the basket, it's nowhere near as aggressive as what we've seen from him throughout this week. He knows he's playing with 4 fouls and almost just wishing no one steps in. But, of course, Jamal Shead, as smart as it gets, knowing that Clifford has those 4 fouls, also making sure he gets outside that restricted area and picks up that 4th foul on Clifford.
We'll see how long Clifford is on the bench. We've got a coach's challenge first. Back in a moment.
Sacramento has called a timeout to check.
This whole process, the whole experience, you only get to do it one time. I mean, this is my dream, to be here, to be in these moments. Just trying to enjoy every second of it and just soak it all in.
A basket to the right here, Harper, Flagg, and Johnson.
Really cool experience and a good environment to be around and be here.
Yep. Yeah, that's 35 and a half. Here you go. One more go. Last one.
I think that's the biggest thing that I pride myself on, is being really versatile, impacting the game in a ton of different ways at a high level, making a ton of winning plays. I'm just trying to get better all around. The handle, the shot, the defense, the physicality. I always know there's more to do, there's more to get better at, so I'm never really satisfied.
Yeah, Coop. Drive, Coop.
This is something that I've been dreaming about since I was a little kid, so just a rush of emotions, a rush of happiness, excitement for the future and the next chapter. Sharing that with my family will be an incredible experience.
It was a long delay, but they allowed the Kings to challenge the call of an offensive foul, believing that Jamal Shead was in the restricted area.
This is the angle. You see Jamal Shead's right foot. Because Isaac Jones' foot is already there, Jamal Shead cannot get his right foot outside of the restricted area. This could be an overturned challenge. And Shead's right foot is on the restricted line.
After review, it has been determined that the defender establishes a legal guarding position outside of the restricted area. As a result, the call on the floor of an offensive foul on Crawford is confirmed. This challenge is unsuccessful by Sacramento. They will be charged their timeout and may no longer challenge subsequent plays.
I think we got two contradicting messages in that in itself. I thought there was, if you look, watch Jamal Shead's right foot. Boom.
But is his heel up? Is his heel up there? His toe. That's obviously you can't see it there, but his toe was outside the arc. I thought his heel was up.
And that could very well be the case if that's what they saw. But from the angle that we saw, it clearly looked like his foot. And again, maybe it was hovering above, but because his heel wasn't planted, he was outside of the restricted area.
And so 4 fouls on Clifford. They really have been okay without him so far. Oh, then Bobo got pushed, late whistle, but that's why he missed the shot, and he'll go to the line.
Yes. And a foul that would not have been called if Mogo finishes that bucket.
It's on Isaac Jones. Two
Jones
fouls on him.
Jones does get 2 hands on Mobo there. And I don't know that it affected him missing the dunk, but more than enough contact to call the foul.
Mobo, second-round pick, first pick of the second round in 2024. He played at a couple of different lower-level schools before going to Missouri State, eventually San Francisco. And then last year with the Raptors, he started 18 games.
But if you look at the Raptors and their history, they like versatile defenders that can play really that 2 through 4 spot. You go back and you look at, of course, Pascal Siakam, OG Anunoby, many of the guys who grew up in the Raptors system and have now become stars at the NBA level.
Another basket for Jones and a foul.
And Jones could very well do the same. Another one of those versatile players on both ends of the floor who has been attacking off the bounce throughout this entire game, and now taking advantage of his size on the interior over Mobo.
23 points on 8 of 11 shooting for Isaac Jones and 6 of 7 at the line. Was undrafted in 2024 after 1 year at Washington State. And Idaho before that, community college prior to that, as we talked about at the end of the first half. One of the great things of Summer League, you get an opportunity here with obviously ESPN and NBA TV carrying all the games. And scouts all over the country that maybe aren't here get a chance to watch, but also the many scouts, coaches, and GMs to come to Vegas to watch the games. And you're not just trying to earn a spot on your team. Everybody else is watching.
It's an addition for every team, and not just all the NBA teams abroad as well. So you want to make sure you put money on tape any opportunity you can.
Battle misfires from the corner. Kings looking to run. Back up 14. Their largest lead was 16. It was 6 at halftime as the Raptors with a strong close to the second quarter. Jones up high, went for the slam, was met in midair by Shamshay, and now his foul is called here.
But that entire possession was created because Isaac Jones sprinted the floor. And because he sprinted the floor, there were cross matches defensively for the Raptors trying to stop the Kings. It allows Jones to have a mismatch with Jamal Shead on the interior. And as Shead gambles for the steal, Jones almost put Shamshay on the post.
He's got a really nice touch, too. 8 of 9 at the free throw line, 1 of 2 from 3.
But what I really appreciate is a guy, and you mentioned his two-way contract was converted to a standard deal, but yet you come into Summer League with the right mental approach. So it's not as though you're being made to play Summer League. You get the opportunity to play Summer League, and those are two completely different things. You want to be here and want to win games for your team, establishing that foundation.
Missed the second free throw, 25 points. No basket, offensive foul, so no 3. Shamshay called for the illegal screen, his 4th personal foul. So the Raptors have another run in them to try to cut into this deficit, or will Sacramento pull away midway through the 3rd quarter? A spot in the title game tomorrow night on the line. Foul on the Plowden drive. 15th foul already on Toronto, just 1 on the Kings. And it was Hepburn that picked up the personal, his 3rd. Plowden undrafted in 2022. He's been in several teams' camps, including Golden State and Orlando. Summer League action continues tonight. NBA TV. 3 games for you: Houston, Minnesota, Cleveland, Golden State, Portland, and Phoenix. And speaking of the Cavaliers, with the injury to Jason Tatum and Tyrese Halliburton, the Celtics and Pacers respectively, is Cleveland, even though it didn't make it to the finals, it was the Pacers representing the Eastern Conference, but they had the best record during the regular season. Are they the team to beat in the East?
I believe so, and the reason being they won 64 games this year in the regular season. But let's also go back and consider the Oklahoma City Thunder, who won it this year and lost in the 2nd round last year. So each team kind of has to go through those growing pains. You've got to have that disappointment in the playoffs, and this is the first year that you really had that true core together, healthy in the playoffs. And even in the 2nd round, Darius Garland was injured. Evan Mobley missed a game for the Cavaliers, so they really weren't 100% healthy this year. So I do believe that they will be the team to beat in the East, especially to start the season.
The loss of Ty Jerome, how impactful is that?
Well, I mean, anytime you lose the Wahoo, I mean, it's going to be impactful.
Forget your Virginia ties.
But I thought Ty Jerome had a tremendous effect for that team, coming off the bench, oftentimes stepping in as a starter and having big games. So that will be a position that is missed for them. But, you know, Kobe Altman, the brass, I'm sure they will find a way to be able to make up that production. But Donovan Mitchell, the first team All-NBA season, and if they can find a way to make sure Darius Garland is healthy in the playoffs, I believe they can absolutely be there in the end.
Nick Clifford hits a shot, just his 2nd basket, and a timeout by Toronto. The Kings with their largest lead of the game.
Your hands. Hey! Come on! I'll get it back. I'll get it back. I'll get you back. Hey! I told you I'll get it back. I told you I'll get it back. Hey!
I think we're all given these gifts and these positions in life, and it's our job to be good stewards of that.
That was super fun, you know, just being able to put them through some drills and seeing how happy they were to be out there with some NBA players. That's why we do it. Those are the people that are pouring so much energy into us, so it's definitely always fun to be able to get back to them.
Welcome back to the NBA 2K26 Summer League here in Las Vegas. The Kings up 19 in our semifinal game, first of two today. Guys, you were talking about the Eastern Conference just a moment ago. One team you didn't mention, and look, I'm going to be a little weary when I mention this, or a little leery, but the Philadelphia 76ers might actually be healthy this season. That is a team that if you look at them on paper, you know, if Embiid is back, if Paul George is healthy, Tyrese Maxey is healthy, they've got a number of guys even beyond those guys that are going to be big contributors on this team. They can be a team that, I know we've talked about them for years, that could potentially be a team that could actually win this Open Eastern Conference.
McCain is a player that people kind of forget. He looked like he might win Rookie of the Year when he was healthy early in the season.
Had a great start to the season. Won Rookie of the Month in a month that he was absent and he was injured. But Jared McCain got off to a great start. Justin Edwards truly grew up as a player. And then you've got the restricted free agent in Quentin Grimes. What will they do there? So the depth is now there for the Philadelphia 76ers, but to George's point, they have to be healthy. If they can find a way to keep everyone healthy, especially at playoff time, they can definitely challenge in the East.
How does VJ Edgecombe, top 5 pick, fit into the Sixers' plan?
He fits in perfectly because of his competitive nature. He's a guy that goes out and competes on every play, is adding to his offensive arsenal, but another ball handler and playmaker, and more importantly, defender that Nick Nurse has at his disposal.
We saw Coach Nurse yesterday. He was here watching the Sixers Summer League team. Three-pointer from Mason Jones, and the Kings have blown this open. 22-point lead, outscoring the Raptors in the quarter, 22-6.
It's shocking because the way the Raptors were able to finish that second quarter, you felt as though they built some momentum going into the halftime locker room, but give the Kings a lot of credit for the way they responded here in the third.
Toronto turns it over. Isaiah Crawford has that one rattle out from deep. But I understand why George is a little leery about Philadelphia, because it does look great on paper, but it's going to come down to ultimately the health of Joel Embiid.
That's very true. I mean, you've got an MVP that without him, and again, I love Tyrese Maxey, Paul George, they've got so much talent outside of Embiid, but Embiid is the anchor. He truly makes it go because he is the one unstoppable force that the Philadelphia 76ers have. If you're going to win a world championship, you got to have a superhero. He's the superhero. And if he's not healthy, it takes away from what each and every one of those other guys do.
Devin Carter almost had it stripped by Elijah Martin. Martin helped Florida win a national championship in April, and then was a second-round pick. Clifford drills a three. Made a couple of buckets here late after struggling in the first half.
Well, fortunately for the Kings, they've really been able to build this lead without having a strong performance from Nick Clifford, who has spent the majority of the game in foul trouble.
Elijah Martin able to hit. Loudon driving. Nice bounce pass. I'm going to wave it off. No basket. Traveling violation on Cardwell.
Maybe they got Plowden for this one. Cardwell, yeah, they got Plowden saying that he landed before he passed that basketball. Cardwell exploding to the rim, but those two won't count.
Cardwell reaching in, trying to strip Shed, who's so strong with the basketball. And a foul is called on Cardwell. Dylan Cardwell, who has shed a ton of weight to get into the shape that he's in now and have a chance to make a roster.
He really is. Coached him his junior year at Oak Hill Academy. Came in, got up above 300 pounds. But you know what I love most about Dylan was he put the work in on his own. Just started running, started lifting, started doing all the things individually with our strength coach, Brian Marr, to be able to shed the weight, and got to a point to where we really were able to put him at the front of the press. You see his energy, his effort. But how about this team he played with? Dylan Cardwell, Cam Thomas, one of the 4 restricted free agents, Cole Anthony, Kobe Coburn. I mean, that was a B.J. Mack. That was a loaded Oak Hill team. Now, I'm not going to say that we did a great job coaching them because it wasn't. It didn't end up being that great of a year, but the talent was absolutely there.
Martin gets the bounce on the second free throw. Cardwell went on to a very successful career at Auburn. He's been a national championship contender the last few seasons. He spent 5 years there.
Yeah, Bruce Pearl loves him, says he can guard anyone in the country. Felt like he was the best defender in the country last season.
Shed off target on the 3. He's just 1 of 5 from behind the arc. And in 75 games with the Raptors, shot just 32% from three-point range. You'd have to think for him to grow, that percentage is going to have to go up, especially with his size.
Yeah, and that's it. That's the one area of concern for Jamal Shed. Everything else he does at a high level. Talk about his leadership, his ability to get to the basket, and just shown that blow-by speed, and defensively, he is a pit bull. But in this game, you can't play 4 on 5. You've got to be able to shoot the 3 ball to be able to get on the floor.
7-0 run by Toronto. This was the year of comebacks in the NBA. Maybe we'll have a big one here in NBA Summer League semifinal action. Minute to go in the 3rd quarter. Jones pass picked off by Shed. Well, you know he can play defense. National Defensive Player of the Year in college at Houston. Attacks the bucket here. Draws the foul.
And back-to-back productive plays on the offensive end. Was able to finish on the left side of the rim, and now an in and out allows him to get to the free throw line. And more importantly, if he's able to make the second free throw, allows the Raptors to set their defense.
Cardwell called for the foul, his 4th. 2 free throws for Shed, who's 2 of 2 at the line. 15 points, 7 assists. 21st annual WNBA All-Star Game is tonight on ABC at 8:30 Eastern Time. Caitlin Clark won't be playing, but it's still her team taking on Team Nafisa Collier. It all starts at 8 Eastern with WNBA Countdown. Sabrina Ionescu last night won the 3-point contest.
Yeah, I saw Sabrina talking about Caitlin was going to be coaching her. Said so she takes it easy. Does realize that Caitlin doesn't take much easy, so hopefully she's a little more chill on the sideline.
9-0 run by Toronto in the last 2 minutes, back within 13. Nice close to the 3rd quarter for the Raptors. Jones underneath to Isaac Jones. Nifty move. Drops it in for his 27th point of the game. He's got really nice touch around the basket. Good pass by Shed. But Mobo couldn't finish. Four seconds to go. Jones. They swing it around to Carter. Extra pass, and they didn't even get a shot off.
Not recognizing the game clock on that was great ball movement, but one that Mason Jones had to catch and let it fly. Outside of that, it was a very productive 3rd quarter for the Kings.
We are here to participate in the first ever NBA Total Health Platform Walk. Give it up for you guys. This is history.
This is amazing. It's all about community and staying together, and what total health means to me. It's about continuing to move, whether we start with our children, and as we start to get older and as we get more seasoned, keep moving.
Doing events like this where we can kind of all come together for like a common goal and be able to just get to know each other. I think it's a really cool opportunity, and it's definitely special.
Girls track in the house. We are on a mission to increase life expectancy for Black women by 10 years in 10 years, and we do that one step at a time, one block at a time, one neighborhood at a time.
Movement is key. Movement is important.
Girls track is in the house.
Total health is something that we all can take advantage of. But remember, you only have one body. Take care of it.
Welcome back to our Summer League semifinal here in Las Vegas. We're here with Jamal Shead of the Toronto Raptors. That one got away from you a little bit in the third. You made a nice run. What do you need to do moving forward to try to finish this off?
We got a saying called chop wood. We're trying to chop wood right now. We're trying to just play the right way. We haven't had a lot of shots falling, but we're playing the right way and we're getting the shots we want, so we got to keep doing that.
You've played on the big club. You're one of the leaders of this team. What is your specific message here as we go down the stretch?
Say it again, chop wood, man. I think we're right there. I think we make a couple of shots, this game changes. But we got to come up and we got to show up. A bunch of guys got to show up. So I think we got to come into this fourth quarter with a little bit more energy.
Jamal, good luck. Thank you.
Thank you.
Guys, back to you.
George, so far the Blades have been a little dull. 35% shooting, 27% from three, but a good start to the fourth with Amori at the line for 2 free throws. Shead making that happen by driving to the basket.
Yeah, for the most part, the Kings have taken the Raptors to the woodshed. All right, get what I did there. There we go. You like that one?
Yeah,
okay.
All over you. One of us was going to have the bad joke. I'm just glad it was you. Reach my quota for the day.
Yeah, that was absolutely the case in the third quarter, 27-18 in favor of the Kings, who won the first and third. The Raptors were able to win the second quarter, which allowed them to get back in the game at halftime. And they're going to need a similar effort here in the fourth to try to continue their champ. Oh, that's it right there. That's championship effort. The 8-second call. Elijah Martin getting up, doing the job defensively, stripping Isaiah Stevens and forcing the 8-second call.
It's championship level defense, and we saw that at Florida this past season. Martin was at FAU for 4 years, went to a Final Four there, and then helped the Gators win the title this season.
He's a winning player, the type of players that the Raptors want to bring into their organization alongside Jamal Shead. And Shead gets another bucket. You see the pressure defensively from the Raptors, able to pick up 94 feet.
Shead with 19 points and 7 assists. Toronto back within 13. Largest deficit in this game, 22 for Toronto. That was late in the third quarter. Isaac Jones, who's been the star of the game, going to go back to the foul line. He's got 27 points, 9 of 12 from the floor, 8 of 10 at the line, and 2 more free throw attempts here.
He's been the answer. Every time the Raptors have made a run, it has been Isaac Jones who has been the answer. This time he'll get back to the free throw line.
They called Bobo for the foul, his third, but we've got a coach's challenge here by Toronto coach James Wade.
NBA 2K26 Summer League is proudly sponsored by NBA 2K26. Rated E for everyone.
This copyrighted broadcast of the National Basketball Association may not be retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise distributed or used in any form without the express written consent of the NBA.
It's kind of a surreal feeling just to be here, and I know it's coming up. So I'm just trying to enjoy it, go through it with my family and friends and just have a good time. Once you get up to the very top and kind of get outside, you feel the wind. It's definitely a little scary. Never really seen the city like this. I'm not really a big city kid. I mean, this definitely gave me a different feel.
Go, man. All right, hold on. Thank you so much. Thank you. Wow. A lot went through. Hey, guys! Let's go! Oh, my God! Let's go! Sorry, I'm sorry.
After review, it's been determined that the Toronto defender, Magbo, first gets to the ball and then grabs his opponent's arm as the ball is going out of bounds. As a result, the call on the floor is being changed to a loose ball foul. However, this challenge is still unsuccessful. Toronto will be charged their timeout and may no longer challenge subsequent plays.
They also are out of timeouts for the rest of the game. That was the last timeout that James Wade had in his pocket. 13-point game inside a minute gone by here in the fourth quarter.
Very risky challenge, understanding with still 9 minutes remaining in this game. Down 13, of course, you want your team to be able to make a comeback, but having no timeouts remaining could be tough.
Pass broken up by Shed. Shed was out of bounds when he touched the ball, so it's going to stay Sacramento basketball. 12 on the shot clock for the Kings. Clifford has it knocked away. Good defense again by the Raptors. This time Walter. On the other end, though, he missed a three. Reynaud gets the rebound, and before he falls out of bounds, able to hit Clifford. Stevens through the lane. Spot up three, Jones. No good. And Carter fouled by Shamshay, his fifth. So free throws here for Devin Carter, who is struggling from the floor. 3 of 10 and 0 for 6 from behind the arc. 7 points, but he does have 5 assists. Well, big news within the hour. Shams Charania reporting that the Lakers are going to sign Marcus Smart after he was bought out by the Wizards. Here's the depth chart for the Lakers. How does Marcus Smart fit in?
He fits in perfectly, going in as a point of attack defender. Tremendous experience and leadership. So when you consider Marcus Smart, he's a guy that can play alongside Luka and LeBron, but also be a primary ball handler off the bench when necessary to be able to establish Austin Reeves, allow him to become even more of a scorer.
George?
And let's not forget the Lakers lost Dorian Finney-Smith to the Houston Rockets, who was a big part of what they did defensively down the stretch after they traded for him. And obviously a big friend, and certainly someone that Luka is familiar with from his days in Dallas. Sorry there, guys. But yeah, they needed someone defensively at the point of attack, to Corey's point. And when you have a backcourt that plays down the stretch of Austin Reeves and Luka Doncic, you could slide in Marcus Smart there potentially, Corey and Dave, to play with those guys at the end of games.
And you mentioned Luka, George. Shams is reporting that Doncic was very involved in terms of communicating to Marcus Smart, trying to court him to come to the Lakers after the buyout.
Well, I mean, you consider that the influence that Luka Doncic will now have on that team as LeBron James has opted into his final year of his contract. Maybe LeBron's last year, who knows? But one thing's for certain, Luka Doncic most likely remains with the Lakers moving into the future, and is going to have a lot of input in whom is going to be on the roster around him.
So DeAndre Ayton, Jake LaRavia, and now Marcus Smart, new Los Angeles Lakers for the upcoming season. In a wide open but very deep, I shouldn't say wide open, Oklahoma City's the defending champs, but after that it feels pretty wide open for who that next best team might be in the West. Foul on Isaiah Stevens is his first, and free throws for Elijah Martin, looking to get this to single digits. Still plenty of time to go here in the semifinal game. Winner to face either Charlotte or Oklahoma City. That's up next year on ESPN. Title game tomorrow night on ESPN, 10 Eastern time, here in Las Vegas at Thomas and Mack Center. Now Martin knocks down both free throws, 9-point game.
And once again, look at the Raptors' defensive pressure, 94 feet. You don't want to even have to challenge Jamal Shed. And Elijah Martin has been able to stand the test as well. Another turnover.
Mobo with the slam. Got the deflection on one end. Elijah Martin helping him to trap the ball handler to force another turnover, and it's a 7-0 run.
And the best outlet for the Kings has been to get the ball in the hands of Maxime Reynaud and allow him to be the guy that initiates the offense getting it across half court.
5 Kings turnovers in 2.5 minutes of the fourth quarter. Lob for Reynaud, deep catch, and gets the bounce. Nice touch by Reno. Shed leans in and finishes off glass. Great attack again by Jamal Shed. 21 points and 8 assists for Shed. Lob was a bad pass by Isaiah Stevens, way over the head of Jones.
But oftentimes the pressure isn't necessarily to get a turnover in the backcourt, is to try to force you to make an uncharacteristic play, which we saw from Stevens on that last possession, which hands the basketball right back to the Raptors.
Shed, nice skip pass. Fake and drive, Walter, hang and finish by Walter. And it's a 5-point game. 17 points now for Jacoby Walter. This was a 22-point game midway through the third quarter. Offensive foul call on Isaac Jones.
Another turnover, and all calls because of the effort by Jamal Shed. If he doesn't try to fight over that screen, he never gets this call. You see the right arm of Isaac Jones extend. That's going to be an automatic for the officials calling that an open air. And just like that, the Raptors get the basketball back. Coach James Wade going to get a break for both Jamal Shed, Elijah Martin, the guys who have really extended the defense 94 feet. Chucky Hepburn will come back in, as well as Battle, to try to give those guys a breather.
7 turnovers forced by the Raptors here in the fourth quarter. On the fall away, Walter is fouled by Clifford. 5 fouls on Neek Clifford. The Raptors have outscored the Kings 22-5 since they trailed by 22 points. You mentioned the guys that James Wade took out. He kept Jacoby Walter on the floor primarily for offensive purposes, and he was able to draw the contact there.
But if you look back, Jacoby Walter really hasn't had to be one of those guys that was the point attack defender picking up 94 feet. So he hasn't had to extend as much energy as has Elijah Martin and Jamal Shed really in this fourth quarter, forcing those turnovers, which allows him to be that primary scorer with this group and staying in the game.
Both free throws go down for Jacoby Walter. Full court pressure by the Raptors, who are back within 3. Sacramento able to break the pressure. Jones has it knocked away. Shamshe, great hustle, playing with 5 fouls. Last touch by Toronto, 12 on the shot clock for the Kings.
And look at how that energy and that effort becomes contagious. Shamshe getting a hand in that passing lane. 3-quarter fronting on Isaac Jones, not allowing him to catch the ball in the post.
Clifford staying on the floor with 5 fouls. Stevens has it near midcourt. Shot clock down to 7. Again, the Raptors harassing the Kings on the perimeter. Tough shot by Jones, but he's able to hit a 3-pointer.
Big bucket for Mason Jones. He made those all season long for the Stockton Kings.
Also spent 10 games with the Sacramento Kings during the regular season. Offensive foul called on Shamshe, who just fouled out of the game.
Mason Jones at the end of the shot clock, the step back, able to get the friendly bounce to give the Kings a 6-point lead. Once again, adding a little bit of separation as Jamal Shed checks back into the game for the Raptors to continue to try to apply that pressure at 94 feet.
So Shamshe's day is over with the rule change once we get to the semifinals, going from 10 personal fouls to only 6. Mason Jones gave up the dribble that time. Here's Clifford now, puts it on the floor with the left hand. Clifford spinning at the foul line. Shot clock down to 6. Jones penetrates and turns it over. The 8th giveaway by the Kings in the fourth quarter alone. Going up strong and putting it in is Murray Boyles, and it's 81-77 Sacramento.
And now the Raptors can really back the pressure off some. They found their way back into this game. Don't need to exert as much energy, 94 feet.
Only the second field goal for the top 10 pick, Murray Boyles. Now a foul is called on Sacramento, or on Toronto rather. It's on Bobo. Now they're saying Walter actually picked up the foul, and that's his fifth. And Bobo thought it was on him, but it's on Walter.
Now Elijah Martin checking back into the game, as does Devin Carter. And so Coach Wade going to match all the ball handlers for the Kings with a defensive stopper.
Carter, he thought he had a teammate on the baseline in Isaiah Stevens and just threw it away. 9 turnovers by Sacramento here in the fourth quarter.
I believe it's becoming mental at this point, Dave. I think that the Raptors have infiltrated the minds of the Kings, especially their guards. When you start turning it over as such, when it rains, it pours.
They had 10 turnovers the first 3 quarters. 9 turnovers and 2 field goals for Sacramento in 5.5 minutes of the fourth quarter. Toronto, though, gives it right back. Jamal Shead says, my bad. Trying to hit Battle for a three-pointer. Winner advances to tomorrow night's title game. Our second semifinal will feature the reigning NBA champion Thunder facing Charlotte. Right here at Thomas and Mack. Clifford lobs it for Reyno. Goes up with the left hand and comes up short. One and done for Sacramento.
So right now, if you're the Raptors, you don't need to be in any rush. Allow your teammates to rest just a little bit on the offensive end. And Jamal Shead does that by knocking down a huge three.
His second three, 24 points, 10 assists for Jamal Shead. 1-point game. Reyno fakes the three, drives and slams it home.
We've been praising his ability to handle the basketball, even to relieve pressure for his teammates, but that time playing off the bounce in a big dunk.
Shead on the other end, driving, bouncing to the corner. Murray Boyles for three, no good. Reyno had the rebound, but turns it back over. Another Kings giveaway. Elijah Martin with the hang and hit.
Such a smart play by Elijah Martin, not rushing the three to tie the game, but staying poised, attacking the basket, in the easy layup.
10 turnovers in the quarter after 10 the first 30 minutes of the contest for Sacramento. Entry pass, Jones flips it up, got it, and one. 29 points for Isaac Jones and a chance at 30.
And Isaac Jones just looks to the crowd to let everyone know to calm down. I can take care of business, as does Jamal Shead, knocking down a huge three, and Elijah Martin attacking the rim, making winning plays.
All-Star Weekend is here. We're going to put the Bay on full display for the world to see. And today is a great start to the entire weekend.
There's a lot of history and tradition and legacy here in Oakland. And so this city was good to us and got us to the point where we are now. And we just want to get back and do the same thing.
And then we come to stuff like this and it just changed their whole life. When we motivated like that. You know what I'm saying? I got you.
Really a dream come true to be able to celebrate All-Star Weekend here in East Oakland, and everything is about being the village for these kids and the next generation and hopefully achieve their full potential.
You know, it takes you back on how you would feel if you were in their shoes. And anytime you have the opportunity to impact someone else's life, it does far more for you than impacting your own life.
For me, All-Star Weekend is about things like this, and it's another opportunity for me to help the staff that's here that's already preparing to help those families. It's in my heart to give back, and it feels like I'm doing my job.
It's the part about our sport that I love the most is the impact that we can have off the court. The community does so much to support us, our athletes, and anything that we can do to give back and turn around that support and uplift our communities, it means the world to me.
Okay, great job running the floor. Keep running. Keep running.
Come on! Yeah, boys. We're good, y'all. We said they were going to do this. They were going to go on a 4-0 run, but we still got to stay at it. Yes! Yeah!
We got to end this quarter right now. Come on.
Next 10 minutes. Come on. Wake up, bro. Next 10 minutes.
They're not going to go away.
Everybody be ready to shoot.
They're not going to go away. Let it fly.
The intensity level now that we're in the semifinals with a championship on the line, potential roster spots on the line for these guys trying to win a title. And when things aren't going well offensively, get the ball to Isaac Jones, which they did. He completes the three-point play. 30 points for Jones.
That has been a successful formula for the Kings throughout this game. But they're going to need much more of him now for the remaining 2:45 of this if they want to continue on into the championship game.
Sacramento back up 4. Mobo in the lane is fouled. He'll go to the line.
I think Mobo's hesitation allowed the guards who had to tag on him after a nice slip on the screen and roll action to be able to get to the rim. If he catches that immediately and just explodes to the rim, showing off his athleticism, he gets a bucket and possibly an opportunity at the free throw line as well.
4th team foul. 5 team fouls on Toronto, so free throws the rest of the way for both teams, and Mobo missed the first. Coming up next here on ESPN, our second semifinal, the Charlotte Hornets taking on the Oklahoma City Thunder. Hornets with some excellent young talent, including Con Knippel, the number 4 pick in the draft. Second free throw no good, out of bounds off Toronto. Correction on the free throws. We've got a ways to go, by the way, until we get to the bonus. Meanwhile, a dunk by Jones. He's got 32 in the lead back to 6.
But a nice play by Stevens to attack Elijah Martin. Instead of going side to side, going north-south and getting to his spot, dropping off the dime. And another turnover. Mobo moving on that screen with Devin Carter, turning the basketball over and now allowing the Kings to continue to add a little more separation after they push the lead to 6.
5th foul in Mobo. So the next one, he would be done. They've already lost Shamshay to 6 fouls. That does not count as a team foul. If Sacramento gets a basket, the Raptors may want to start using some of those fouls because you don't get into the bonus situation until you get to 10, although now we're inside 2 minutes. So the next foul would be the first in the last 2 minutes. Missed shot by Clifford, but an offensive rebound. And Jones will now have a chance with a shot clock at 8. And Jones is fouled. There's the one to give, but it's the 6th on Jacoby Walter, and his day is done. Raptors out of challenges, out of timeouts, so can't look at that.
Yeah, and that hurts because Jacoby Walter really has helped them on the offensive end throughout this game. But of course, another strong defender to go up against the guards of this Kings team who have really been able to be in control for the majority of this game. However, they've struggled handling it before.
And timeout by Sacramento. That's the last timeout for the Kings, trying to avoid the 5-second call. Sacramento ball up 6 when we come back.
Feeling good, man. I'm excited. Should be a fun week. Much of my family will be here, friends. I'm driving up from Maine. I'm trying to keep it classy and fashionable at the same time. So I think I look pretty good. NBA fans, what's up? It's Cooper Flag. I'm excited to be here at the draft. Let's get it going.
Winner moves on to tomorrow night's championship game at 10 Eastern on ESPN to face either the Thunder or the Hornets. That came up next. The Raptors were within one on 2 different occasions here in the fourth quarter, but they still have not led in this game. Trailed by as many as 22, and right now down 6. A 5-0 Sacramento run. Either team has a timeout. The next Raptor foul will put Sacramento at the line. And the star of the game, man right there, Isaac Jones, 32 points to go with 6 rebounds.
And he made a crucial bucket as the Raptors were making their run to get back into this game. Crucial bucket. They also added a free throw to it to get them to the total of 30 points. Now at 32 for Jones. But still a long way to go in this with 1:50 remaining. Only a 6-point lead. You cannot relax if you're the King.
Get it inbounds this time to Jones, who attacks and gets the bounce. 34 points for Isaac Jones.
But the most impressive play was he avoided picking up the offensive foul as Jamal Shead tried to get over and take the charge, jumped around Shead.
7-0 Sacramento run. Showing a lot of poise down the stretch after nearly blowing a 22-point lead. 3 is way off from Martin. Long rebound, out of bounds to Sacramento. These are some of the intangibles that scouts, coaches, and GMs will evaluate when looking at a lot of the players on this Kings roster for how they handled the adversity here late in the game.
Yes, especially with the way the physical play is picked up. Who can handle the physicality of this defense when the officials aren't going to call the ticky-tack foul?
Stevens drives, missed the shot, and rebound Shead. Ahead to Mobo. Drives and gets it to fall off glass with the left. 6-point game with a minute to go. On the switch, Murray Boyles has Carter, who gets passed in, fires underneath to Isaac Jones for his 36th point.
But you essentially have 3 point guards on the floor, really a 4th in Nick Clifford around Isaac Jones. So playmakers all around Jones to be able to find him with opportunities at the rim.
And a foul by Stevens, who's trying to get through the screen. First in the last 2 minutes, so no free throws here for Toronto. 38.3 seconds to go in the game. Sacramento trying to get 1 step closer to its 3rd Summer League championship. Nice play by Carter, batting the ball away from the ball handler and forcing a Toronto turnover, and that might do it. Foul on the Raptors. Free throws coming up for Mason Jones.
The adjustment by Coach Mystery late in this game to get 4 ball handlers around Isaac Jones could truly be the difference in this one. Toronto had figured out a way to speed up the Kings, forcing double-digit turnovers in this 4th quarter alone. But the lineup of Stevens, Jones, Clifford has allowed them to have enough ball handlers on the floor, and Carter, enough ball handlers on the floor to be able to surround Jones and beat the pressure and find a way to get timely buckets at the end.
We saw Con Kniffel and the Hornets, and now the Thunder players get ready to take the floor for a brief warm-up before tipping off in Game 2 of our semifinal doubleheader here in Las Vegas. Mason Jones gets both free throws, pushes the lead to 10. Inside 30 seconds to go. Jamal Shead checking out of the game. A couple of substitutions for the Raptors, getting some players on the floor who haven't played at all in this game. As Amori gets the basket. Doesn't look like the Raptors are going to foul, but they do. And Hepburn just fouled out. So free throws for Mason Jones again. Well, Sacramento as an organization with some changes, trying to Now we got a technical foul called here.
Yeah, I believe they got James Wade on that one. They had a tremendous conversation with the officials on the sideline.
And another one, he just got thrown out.
Just been ejected from this game.
That was the official that James Wade was having that pleasant conversation with in the first half. James was asking him where he was from and how he was doing. James Wade, classy move there, going over, congratulating the Kings on a game well played, and now he'll have to make his way back to the locker room.
Well, he's going to go through and make sure he daps up everyone on the Kings bench, congratulating them on a strong performance as he's willing to make the walk, but he stuck around for long enough. I mean, if you're going to get tossed with 13 seconds. I'm good with that. You make sure that you empty the tank with everything that you needed to say.
We were talking before the second technical where he got ejected about Sacramento with a new leadership, trying to build a winning culture. And it's things like this that help, even though obviously DeRozan, Sabonis, and Levine aren't playing, but some of these guys might be their teammates this season. And to go through this experience, again, having to face some adversity in a championship-type atmosphere could be really helpful at some point.
It absolutely, winning is part of development. And again, Doug Christie made it very clear to us before the game that we are trying to establish our foundation. And if the foundation includes winning, then any opportunity you get to win a championship, whether it's Summer League, whether it's the G League, where the Stockton Kings, of course, are the G League champion this year, you want to take advantage of it. You want guys that were on your roster and in your organization that winning is important.
That's Doug Christie, who was the interim coach, but that tag was removed by Scott Perry, B.J. Armstrong, assistant GM. Next to him, Alvin Gentry, part of front office as well, with that group courtside. Sacramento Kings never trailed. Toronto got within one twice late, but the Kings prevailed behind 36 points from Isaac Jones. 98-88 the final as Sacramento advances to tomorrow night's championship game against either Oklahoma City or Charlotte.
Isaac Jones with a tremendous performance, efficient, 13 of 17 from the field, 9 of 11 from the free throw stripe, but more importantly made the big buckets when his team needed them most. Every time the Raptors made a run, the answer for the Kings was Isaac Jones.
It was a 15-6 run to close out the game for Sacramento, and that includes that last basket, which was kind of a throwaway at that point. A lot of poise shown by the Kings. Again, on a night D. Clifford did not really contribute offensively, got foul trouble early on. But Jones, both Jones, Isaac and Mason were outstanding, combining for 53 points. Reynaud chipped in with 12. Jamal Shed had 24 in a losing cause. And let's check in with George, standing by with both Isaac and Mason Jones.
Yeah, Dave, I'm here with Isaac and Mason. So, Isaac, let's start with you. This thing got a little